Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Koblak, Kelsey, Bringard, Bletcher are here tonight. Kurt Korneffel is out of town. He will be listed as excused. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda as presented? Okay, moved by Bringard, support by Kelsey. Questions, comments with regards to the agenda? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried. Moving on to the approval of minutes of the January 2024 meeting of the Fire Commission. They meet with your approval. I just need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Bletcher, supported by Kelsey. Questions, comments? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carried. Expenses, Chief.
As everybody knows, the fire department works within a dedicated budget via the two millages. The fire department does not obtain any funds from the general fund, nor do we come to the taxpayers for, let's say, revenues for special items that are not budgeted. All expenses and revenues are within line of our budget.
Questions or comments of the chief with regards to expenses for the last month? Actually, February and March of 2024. Moved by Bringard to accept, support by Kelsey. Questions, comments? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. Discussion items. Chief, we have 5 on the docket for tonight.
Right. Number one, the fire department is putting on a job hiring event this Sunday, March 14th, noon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyone interested in becoming a volunteer firefighter, come by the fire department. Then you will personally meet me. Those events have been very successful. April 14th. That should say April 14th. This Sunday. Those events have been very successful. We have 6 new members on the fire department in the last 14 months. 0 attrition. So if you want to become a volunteer firefighter, come by and see me at the fire department between noon and 3, April 14th, this Sunday. Any questions? All right, number 2, AED battery replacement plan. The fire department has a software program that basically monitors all the AEDs around the island, Township Hall, clubs, churches, yacht clubs, whatever it may be. And we monitor the lifespan of all those AED batteries. When their batteries are, let's say, near their lifespan, we contact those public, private institutions and inform them that their batteries need to be replaced. Currently, because the fire department can buy batteries in volume, we can get them cheaper than these private or public institutions. Back on January 16th, we mailed out a letter to all these institutions, these businesses, indicating that your batteries are coming to the end of their lifespan, and if they would like to participate in purchasing them through the fire department, we can do that. They would just have to reimburse the fire department for the cost. So we sent about 12 letters out to all these institutions around the island. It's a great program, and we've gotten positive feedback. Some of the institutions have bought batteries. Matter of fact, some of the institutions have purchased AEDs, defibrillators, through the fire department. Again, we get them at a cheaper cost. They are not expenses to the taxpayer. The fire department receives reimbursement. So that monitoring replacement plan is in effect. Any questions? Number 3, replacement of the public service siren warning station at the fire department. Back in 2001 is when the public service warning system went into effect and was installed around Grozio. At that time, it was state of the art. There were only 2 communities in the entire state that had a dual service system. Dual service means, or I should say, loop system. What that means is the sirens communicated via a radio signal back to the police department, indicating whether it was operational, and then the dispatch could communicate back to the siren to sound off, a loop system. Today, that is an inferior product. Today, the standard is a dual loop system requiring two separate radios communicating with the sirens in a dual loop system. The fire department is requesting the installation of a dual loop system where we have two control boards independently communicating with the sirens. In that case, if one computer board goes down, we can use another FD dispatch computer board to communicate with the sirens. So we have redundancy. That is now the standard across Michigan. So it's a much superior methodology to have two independent command boards that can communicate to the sirens and discharge the sirens off.
When you think about it historically, just looking back, after Adafina, we didn't have reverse 911, we didn't have this type of system. Now 23 years later, it's good to update it for all. So it's obviously it's an action. I think it's an action item coming up, but it's a cost that we need to expend.
Yeah, one misunderstanding that the public may have is all those sirens they may believe are hardwired to the dispatch. They're not. We have a Motorola radio communicating with them in the PD dispatch. At times, that radio system has gone down, and we had to wait for the tech to come and repair it, fix it, whatever it may be. Now we'll have one radio in the PD dispatch and one radio command center in the FD dispatch, independently communicating. So if one goes down, we have redundancy. And, that's the superior way of communicating to these sirens. And so the fire department is asking for a recommendation to the board that a new computer command center be installed in the fire department dispatch to support the PD dispatch in the amount of $8,457.
All right. And that's an action item that's coming up.
That's right.
All right.
8,000, how much?
$8,457. The test that you heard on Saturday, there were two tests.
Yep.
One was from the fire department. Okay.
It confused some people.
It may
I
have,
got two calls and they're like, why did it go off twice? And I said, well, they must be doing some testing or something on it.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. We have a plan to resolve that within the PD and the FD, but they have to be tested. And the public just has to get aware that Saturday, the first Saturday of the month at noon, they're going to be tested.
All right. Next discussion item, Chief.
Okay, next discussion item, replacement of lights, sirens, and communications for command vehicle. As the public may be aware, as the commission is aware, we are updating equipment at the fire department. We have two new command vehicles, all budgeted, all within our expenditure list and our replacement schedule. Those command vehicles need to be outfitted with lights and sirens and radios, etc. I can tell you the two vehicles that we replaced, one was 16 years old and the chief's vehicle was 12 years old. The chief's vehicle has a rod knock, and the fire marshal's vehicle, I think your foot went through the floor because it was, let's say, so rusted out in such a dilapidated state. So anyway, these vehicles need to be outfitted, pursuant to law and pursuant to the public best interest. So, we have three quotes, and the The preferred quote, which is the lowest quote, is to Herkimer Radio Service, who I believe is a preferred vendor to the township anyway. So that will be that's an action item. And one other item that I would like to note before the last act or discussion item is I'd like to commend some of the firefighters, Nicole Gall, Andrea Kazaborski, and Jeff Will, for participating in the American Lung Association Climb for a Cure. On May 19th, they will be at Comerica Park participating in climbing the stairs, or I should say the stairs at Comerica Park as a fundraiser for a cure for lung cancer. And if anyone's interested in donating, they can go to the American Lung Association website. And what's it called, Bob, on the website? Do you know?
Fight for Air Climb.
Fight for Air Climb. And so my hat goes off to those three firefighters for participating in that charitable event. This is not the first year that Girlsville firefighters have participated in this Climb for a Cure charity. Bob Roscoe in years past, Lenny Pedestris in years past, and other firefighters have participated. So I just would like to commend them. And by the way, they have been training for over a month for this very strenuous event, and I'd like to commend them for their participation in this event. So anyway, my hat goes off to them. The last discussion item is number 5, appointment of a chairperson for the Fire Commission.
We can address that under action items, I think.
Okay, all right.
All right, so any other discussion items, Chief?
No, that's it.
All right, so action items, we have 3. The first is recommendation on hiring Metro West Communications for replacement of public service warning siren command station in the amount of $8,457. Is there a motion?
Sure.
Moved by Kelsey, is there support? Support by Jerry. Questions or comments? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. Item number 2, recommendation on hiring Herkimer to install lights, siren, and communications on command vehicles, or vehicle, is it vehicle or vehicles?
One vehicle.
Okay, vehicle, in the amount of $7,393.68. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Bletcher, is there support? Support by Kelsey. Questions or comments? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. All right, so item number 3, vote on chairperson for the Fire Commission. This is something that we should have done at our last meeting. Mr. Bletcher informed me that we should have addressed it then. Since we didn't do it last month, we're doing it this month. So what's the pleasure of the commission?
I nominate Kurt Koblak as the next chair of the commission.
All right, there's a motion, there's support.
Move to close the nominations.
Support.
All right, questions or comments with regards to moving to close the nominations? If not, all in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye. Do we get an acceptance speech?
No. But, all right, for the record, motion to appoint chairperson for the Fire Commission. And again, Carl, is there support for the support of that motion?
I do.
Jerry, questions, comments? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
We'll say nay. Motion carried. I'll abstain for the record. All right, anything else under action items, Chief?
Nothing.
All right, commission member reports. Is there anything from the commission that you'd like to ask the chief or our fire marshal today?
I just have one question on the rescue runs. I see we had a cardiac arrest on March 18th. I always ask the question, were we able to get there in time and save the person?
March 18th.
Yep.
Let me take a look. I'll recognize. You know, Jerry, we were able to get there in time. I don't want to disclose the address and the medical information, but we were able to get there on time. I'm not privy to what has occurred a week or subsequent after that. to these patients. Really, the fire department is not in the situation or environment to know what occurs after they may receive treatment. I'm not aware of what the current status of that patient is. So
Understood.
I just don't, I'm just not privy to that information.
Any other questions of the chief? Bobby, you have any thoughts, comments tonight?
No, sir.
You're enjoying your duties as fire marshal of the Grosse Ile Fire Department? And more residents are becoming aware of who you are and what you're doing for the township?
More and more every day, yes.
And you like the short drive to work?
I do.
All right. All right, if there's nothing else, public comment. This affords the opportunity of anybody in the audience to come to the podium. There's no one in the audience tonight. As a result, we can take a motion to adjourn. Moved by Kelsey, support by Bringard. Questions, comments? If not, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Is our new chairman now?
What's that?